Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Drake, at the end of the day, Kendrick ain't even have to bury Drake. All he had to do was just rip his mask off, and now he burned himself. You guys, what is going on? They have been at it. Drake, Lil Wayne ruined his reputation by jumping on board with that. We're gonna talk about Wayne's whining over Super Bowl. And yes, it was whining. I don't want anybody in my comments being like, can a man express his feelings? No, not when we talking about business. We also want to talk about the way that didn't work. Drake was shocked and he sent hit Mal, tried to start a live. Mal came from Axe Job and said, I'm gonna be the head glazer. Tried to start some story that Drake turned down the Super Bowl, not just once, but multiple times. Yeah, I know that's what I said. The Super Bowl came out and made a statement that Bloomberg News that only deals with top CEOs, billionaires, and legit stuff said that is a lie. We never once did. And guess what? Drake ruined his chances of ever being invited for a Super Bowl. We'll talk about that. My baby, why did Akademiks now tell Mal, you ain't gonna be Drake's bottom B? I still got that covered. And he came out with an even grander lie than Mal did. Let me get this. Not only did Akademiks try to say, listen, Akademiks tried to make a whole thing about the fact that Akademiks said Compton business owners say they lost thousands of dollars when Kendrick shot the Not Like Us music video. Ack, please go back and order in your subs from Jersey Mike. Stop it, man. You mean to tell us that Kendrick said cost how? Listen, just how you know, Kendrick is loved in Compton. Love where he's from. Because I didn't see anybody in Toronto going up for Drake except for a few people associated with the Hells Angels. And that's not a good look. Almost Food for the Soul said this entire post is misquoted and pushing a narrative that we do not represent. People, please do not believe everything you read. Words have been twisted and it's not right. The city should have made better decisions with notifications to tax paying business owners. We in no way have any negative commentary for Kendrick. This was a city issue. They literally tagged Akademiks and said, at Akademiks, you better be careful about misquoting people and twisting words. We never spoke to you. So, how are you misquoting verbiage as a fact? Again, the owner of the restaurant just posted that on Instagram in Axe comments to that post saying words have been twisted and it's not right. The city should have made better decisions. Y'all, listen. At the end of the day, Akademiks tried to make up another lie. It got debunked. But I don't think this was even about protecting Drake. Act wanted to show everybody that he is Drake's bottom B, and ain't nobody taking that place. You hear that, Mal? All that mess you was talking about was bigger than the what? Bigger than the Super Bowl. Act told you you better move back. They literally, Akademiks and Mal are having a real life version of Monica and Brandy. No, Nivea. Don't mess with my man. I'm gonna be the one to bring it to ya. They having a real life thing. They having the boy is mine. Need to give it up. Had about enough. They are having a real life Brandy and Monica. The boy is mine over Drake. Baby, the boy, we still ain't see the man. We still ain't see the man. But can we believe him? Akademiks look like he deleted that post. Listen, at the end of the day, right? Um, uh Listen, at the end of the day, it is what you want it to be. Now let's talk about Lil Wayne and the way he's pretty much ruined his legacy. I know y'all saw Wayne doing that weird ass post talking about his feelings about thanks y'all. I had to pull myself together. Pull yourself together for what? You were in negotiations. It didn't go through. But can I just say one thing? And I'm going to keep saying it. Wayne ruined his legacy with this one. Not because I don't care about a man showing their feelings. Yeah, men should express their feelings more. I care about Wayne acting entitled like he was owed that. You look at the way Drake did. He kept his mouth shut, right? Even though he tried to fake rumors because Drake knows the business of getting a Super Bowl shot. You look at the way, but what Wayne did, what Baby did, what even Nicki Minaj did. Do you guys understand the business of music and how you have to move? You look at Usher in that residency. I see why everybody in Young Money went so far, and outside of Drake, who actually does have business sense, they only went so far because hear me out on this, and this is important to notice. These Super Bowl slots are not just given up, right? At the end of the day, you look at Usher, they didn't just give that out. Usher in his Vegas residency was like an audition for Super Bowl. He had his tours, he had this, he had that. You look at Kendrick Lamar, and that's why I think Kendrick made that story about like say the party's gonna die or whatever. Because at the end of the day, everybody is so lost. These people, let me just say it. I don't think it's Kendrick thinks long term. I do not think it's an accident at all that he actually got the Super Bowl. I think that he put his name in to be considered. I think when Drake put third person shooter and they said, what's bigger than a what? Bigger than the Super Bowl? I think Kendrick's diabolical self sat there and said, yeah, and we're going to try to get the Super Bowl too. Now, how was it? He has a catalog, he has the Grammys, he has the respect. He has for being known as a great showman, but he needed to show the Super Bowl that he was a viable bet. What could he do for a sizzle wheel? What could he do for his reputation? What could he do for his resume to pump it up and show the Super Bowl? This is what you're looking at. The pop out concert. Y'all, that pop out concert by Amazon was not just a pop out to dance on Drake's grave. It was also an audition for the Super Bowl. It was the audition for the Super Bowl. Okay. Now, in that audition, he showed a lot of things. One, in a family friendly setting, people will scream A minor, right? That's the most important thing. But he also showed he can pull a crowd. He showed that he is utmost professional. He showed he is a big showman. He showed by the numbers there was an actual want and a need. He showed that he could also put together a show that could unite a whole city, even warring factions to put their pettiness aside and act professional and put on a show. See, here's the thing people don't realize. These people, these head honchos, the people, they are people just like everyone else. And you might be the biggest act in the world. This is why acts try to keep their reputation so clean. But at the end of the day, when someone's thinking about hiring you, guess what? They're in the blogs like we are. They're on YouTube where we are. They're in the comment section reading, wait, what's going on? Because they want to make sure that there is a good investment for their money. That's what's going on, right? The fact that Kendrick showed not only am I a good investment, I'm a safe investment. I'm gonna give you what you want. And he did a bunch of behind the scenes, politicking, shaking hands, all this stuff. The fact that Wayne's been in this business for so long and he doesn't realize how you need to politic to get a Super Bowl thing. And again, it's like getting a job. You are going to put yourself in the best light. It don't mean anything except for that's what you have to do. But here's the thing: the politicking is showing you're a sure bet. Now I get it, right? When Kendrick did the pop out, it inspired a lot of cities because he popped out for California culture. And it inspired a lot of cities to be like, wait, that was a beautiful moment. We need to do that. We need to put our city, our culture on. And I think Young Money, that's what they wanted to do for New Orleans. But here's the difference: Young Money already had their chance to do a pop out show. They did. Do you know what that show was called? It was called the Essence Fest. That was supposed to be their pop out show. They had a chance to show the Super Bowl with bigwigs that make the decisions. And no, it's not Jay-Z. They already said Jay-Z makes suggestions, but he don't run this, right? You had a chance to show on Essence Fest what Young Money was made of, what they could bring to the table, what type of show, if given the stage, they could produce. And what did they produce? Baby got out there trying to bully everybody off of the stage, charging people. Wayne couldn't even remember half of his lyrics. I think Nicki Minaj did okay. Was she even at Essence Fest? It was a ish show. It showed that they were unprofessional. It showed that they can't hold the thing. It showed, read what happened at the Essence Fest. And I know every year the Essence Fest is a little bit of a mess, but with Young Money, it was a horrible mess. They had their chance at a pop-up cow thing. And even if they thought, okay, so what, we'll still give them a chance? Well, then what happened after that? You guys went on social media. And here's the thing, a Wayne that played his cards right, because Super Bowl been up in his town plenty of times. If Wayne had played his cards right, okay, if he had played his cards right, he could have politicked a little more. And in 2-3 years, if he was remembering his lines, he could have done Super Bowl wherever Super Bowl will be in a few years. But he didn't. You went on this tirade, and this is the thing, you guys don't understand the business of music. You realize that Kendrick's Super Bowl slot was decided months ago. And if Wayne was really, really, really hurt about it and all this stuff, then why, when you found out that you weren't going to get Super Bowl, didn't you open your mouth? Why didn't Nicki open their mouth? Why didn't Baby open their mouth then? Because back then, they didn't know who got the Super Bowl. They just know they didn't get it. And the funny thing is, if it was a Taylor Swift, I don't think they would have opened their mouth like that. If this was Maroon 5, I don't think they would have opened their mouth. But because it went to Kendrick, somebody who is Black, somebody that you thought was not even your peer, but maybe below you, or maybe you felt, or maybe it's because it was Jay-Z, y'all thought that you could speak freely about it. But do you realize you're still at work? Do you realize that you're talking about your potential coworkers? And who cares if the coworkers can hurt you? The boss, which is the NFL commission, is listening. You know, when they opened their mouths, they stepped on the rollout. The rollout was what, a month or two in the making. They stepped on their rollout. Big money, big members, sponsorship, all this stuff is going into play. The rollout is supposed to like bring in a lot of sponsorship money. By Nicki, Wayne, Birdman, all them acting, and all Wayne had to do was just be quiet. But when he opened his mouth, it's just like, oh, so that's why Nicki out here defending you, because you really were sitting there acting like acting. I'm just gonna get myself together. What happened to you, Wayne? We saw y'all at Essence Fest. You can't be serious. But back to my point, and just hear me out. The bosses were listening. The bosses saw that not only did you guys do all this stuff, but you literally stepped on their multi-million-dollar rollout that was supposed to bring in hundreds of thousands, well, millions of ad revenue. You stepped on it and you started attacking the head of Rock Nation. You started attacking the NFL. You started doing this and you tried to create a ground movement stemmed on a young Black man dipping back into the roots with the NFL racism. They don't need that heat right now. Again, I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm saying that's what they're thinking. You tried to create a ground movement and a public movement to push Kendrick out of that spot and put Lil Wayne in it, or at least spoil it so that nobody will watch the Super Bowl. And these are the people. Do you ever think any of them are ever going to be at the Super Bowl after this? Would you? Again, I know Wayne's a legend. I get it. But let's also not forget, Wayne's a known colorist. He's very anti-Black. Remember, he did that interview where he said that Reginae was going to be the first and last dark-skinned daughter he ever had. You better check Wayne's resume. I'm just saying, he's not. He doesn't believe in Black life. Like, at the end of the day got to end. But Wayne pretty much guaranteed, after the money they cost, at the rollout, after this and that, and acting unprofessional. And if he doesn't care, he doesn't care. But he ain't never going to get that Super Bowl stage. Neither's Drake, because Drake then tried to start a rumor about the NFL, and they shut Drake down officially. Drake ain't seen that Super Bowl thing. And I see now why most of the people in Young Money definitely hit a ceiling on how far they went. It wasn't for talent. It wasn't because of lack of talent. They got droves. It wasn't for lack of fan love. It was for lack of business sense and acumen. That's just my point. That's just my point. Last thing I am going to say, Kendrick's a Gemini. And when you're dealing with Geminis, you got to act nicely and with some respect. But if you try to embarrass a Gemini, bully a Gemini, there was a chance that Kendrick might have shared that stage with Wayne. Not after that little tear-filled, I so sorry, how come I didn't get what I wanted from my legacy? And again, all Wayne had to do was just politic because he wasn't politicking. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. This is going to have to be a part two. This video is already getting too long, but I will talk to y'all later. But shout out to Akademiks for telling Mal, don't mess with my man. I'm gonna be the one to give it to ya. The boy is mine. Listen, shout out to Act for letting Mal know he already got a bottom B, baby. He don't need you. We good. Shout out to Drake. Your career is still in the toilet. And congratulations on taking Wayne down with you. But I can't even blame Wayne. I can't even blame Drake because Wayne's the one to open his mouth. You know that old saying, better to be keep your mouth shut and be considered a fool than open it and leave no doubt. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.